Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's been a few weeks since I made some content for the channel. Myself and my family, we've been pretty busy with life, welcoming the birth of my second son. So he was born last week on October 7th. So that's kept us busy for the past few weeks, and we're just settling in at home with a newborn baby. And we're absolutely loving life, we're absolutely ecstatic. And my eldest son's now a big brother, which he's also happy with. So we're just settling in at home. Whilst I've got some time off, I thought I'd take the time to make a little bit more content. It is hard, obviously, with life, and trying to put this content together with the car does take time. So it's been a little bit difficult to get it done. But today we're actually going to do something I've wanted to do for a long time. I actually started doing this project a little while ago and then never continued with it. I had all the parts. I got rid of all the parts. But basically, today we're going to upgrade the center console of my 2003 WRX to the later model 2005 onwards WRX center console. So I picked up a center console from the wreckers. So today we're going to swap it over and we're going to put the updated center console in there. I'll just give you a quick look at what the current console looks like and the parts that we're going to change. So we'll have a quick look at the current setup so we can see the difference, and then I'll show you the new parts that I've bought today to swap it over. Obviously I've got to clean all the new parts because they're a bit dirty. They did come from a wrecker, but once done, it should modernize the interior a bit and give it the look of a newer car. So I'll show you the parts that we're going to be replacing today. So we're going to be replacing the radio surround here. We're going to be replacing the heater dials. We're going to be replacing this whole bracket around here. And then obviously the center console all the way up to here. So basically this part here, all the way up to these vents. I think I'm going to keep my vents because I've got the extra, doesn't work. I think I'm going to keep my vents because I've got the extra cup holder there. But basically everything else from below the vents all the way to the center console, we're going to swap out. There's a couple things to note. In the later model cars, the mirror adjuster is actually on the doors. So I'll have to figure out where to mount that. We'll have to mount the boost control switch somewhere else. But basically that's it. And once we've replaced all this, it'll look nice and modern. So now I'll show you what the new one looks like, or the updated one, and then we'll get started on the install and getting the old one out and getting the new one in. So this is what the new one looks like. So here's the radio surround, here's the heater controls, and then the dash surround as well, the lower dash portion, and then we've got the center console bit itself. So the handbrake is slightly different. I'm going to make my own custom handbrake boot, so this old one won't stay. This is actually from a 2.0R, I believe, like my brother's WRX, or my brother's Impreza, and it's got the high-low range gear lever that you can see here. So we've got to figure out what to do with this, and then there's the side kick panels for the lower portion of the dash, and then that's the complete unit there. So this is what we're going to be installing. Hopefully it'll make it look a lot nicer. You can see it's pretty dirty, so I'm just going to give it the old spray and wipe, get it nice and clean, and clean it up. We're going to get it looking nice, and then we'll install it. So now that everything is clean, I didn't want to bore you with that process, but basically a rag, just some Pino Clean disinfectant, cleaned it up. It was pretty grimy, being a 2007 model I think it came out of, so 18 years of grime built up, especially in the gaps and the creases, so that's all clean now. But what we're going to do now is basically make a new handbrake boot. So as you can see, this one's all dirty, it's all frayed and stuff, so you can see there it's pretty worn out along the top. So what we're going to do, I've got some material that matches the roof liner, so we're just going to make a quick pattern on this, cut it out, and then we'll stitch it together a bit later, and then we'll glue it to this frame using the fabric adhesive that we got last time. So hopefully it should come up okay. This is the frame for the gear shift boot, so hopefully I can use my old one without too much modification, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, we'll trace out the pattern on the rear side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the boot, we're going to open up all the stitching, and then we're going to lay it flat on here. We're going to trace the pattern, and then that will give us the overall shape for the boot. Doesn't matter if you damage it, all you need to do is just get the overall shape. I mean, if you're gonna use it again, don't damage it, but it doesn't matter if you do. If you're just gonna use the new one. So it's actually not hard to make the handbrake boots and the gear shift boots. If you want to make your own one, customize it, and get them looking exactly how you like. So we've got our two pieces, and what we're going to do now is lay it flat. We'll take a marker and trace out the exact shape of it. Alright, so we'll trace out the first piece. We've just got a little marker here. And then once we've got the shape and we cut it, then we can modify it as necessary. Always cut on the outside of your trace. So that's piece number one done. You can see the outline there. And we'll do piece number two here. Alright. And piece one, piece two, they're traced out. And we'll take some scissors. Alright. Here's one piece. It's one side of the handbrake boot. And I'll cut the other side out. Alright, so we've got the two pieces now. We've got one and two, and basically they will come together like this to form the handbrake boot. Now what we need to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get a stapler and I'm just going to staple it all down. We'll just make sure that we've got the length right. Yes, the length looks good. So this is going to sit over that. So now what we're going to do is line up the two sides face to face butt, right? And then get our stapler. Basically we just want to get the overall shape, and I'll show you how it turns out in a second. So we just staple along the edges. Now don't worry, this will get stitched, but just to get the shape, and for what we're doing today, just staple it down. Right, and now that's stapled, we'll flip it back inside out again. Obviously this is very, very crude being stapled. That's what the handbrake boot's going to look like. Alright guys, so I've finished the handbrake boot. I've gone ahead and stitched it, and it came up okay. Now we're going to glue it to the actual mount, and then we'll put that onto the center console and we'll see how it looks. I think it came up pretty good, but we'll check it out. Alright guys, we're back. We've got the handbrake boot installed, which should work nicely. A dodgy stitching, but it works, and I glued it to the frame, so that's all in now. Alright, we are back, so it's time to take out the whole center console. The fascia just clips off. One, two plugs, so that's removed. So that's the mirror switch. We'll figure out where we're going to put that. Slide the boot off. We're going to need that for after. Should just lift out now. Okay. So this whole section comes out as one complete section. I'll grab all my stuff from there soon. Alright. So that's 6 screws all together for this. That's why I've got the ultra long extendo. Now, what's that plugged in? Now, I've got to take this section off. You bloody. Oh, there we go. And it is out. Alright, so this one goes in first. let's see how this fits in. All right, next part to go on. Plug these in. I'm pretty sure when I tested last time they work. Don't need it actually. Alright, so we're back after last night installing the center console. It wasn't quite finished, had to do a few things. So the first thing I had to do was obviously put the shift boot on. So I had to make a new shift boot. My old shift boot from the older model WRX, so the 03 WRX center console, didn't actually fit. And I just quickly fabbed up a shift boot. So I've mounted it. You can see here, it's actually came up pretty good. So it's mounted from underneath. I just glued it, you can see there. I've glued it around the frame. And it's in there now. So the only thing I have to do is just adjust this a little bit, but I'll do that at a later date. For now it works and it came up pretty good, so we'll just throw this in the car quickly. And then we're also going to, I've got some Perspex, black Perspex to fill the void where the radio is. So what I figured out last night is that the radio brackets mounting points are different in the older model WRX to this model center console. So I don't actually use my radio, so I've decided just to fill it with a black Perspex, just so you can't see in behind the dash. Eventually I'll run a 10-inch screen, which I'm in the process of designing the software for. So basically it'll run the CAN bus to a transmitter, the transmitter to a PCB, and then from the PCB with a HDMI cord to the screen, and then the screen will show all the data similar to my dash, but I'll customize it a little bit more with my own functions on there so that the passengers can also see it, and we'll be able to log directly from the screen because it's hooked up to the link ECU. So that's going to take a little while, so I thought while I'm designing that and getting that all built, I'll just use Perspex to fill the void. So here's the void that we'll be filling today. I managed to keep my cup holder there. So it's a little hack for guys with the Hawkeye or the later model Blob Eyes. If you do have this style center console, you can run the cup holder vents from the older style WRX. So you can have an extra cup holder there. So this is actually, as I mentioned, this is from the 2.0R, which has a high-low range gearbox, and the lever sits here for it, which obviously I'm not running. But normally this style console for the WRX will have 2 cup holders, but if you do have this style or you want an extra cup holder, then you can use that. What we'll do now, we'll put this back in. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the console in. Everything's done now. All I've got to do is I just have to thread my cable through for the link ECU. I'm just going to pull it through here, and then I've just got to mount my boost knob, but I might mount that somewhere else, so I'm not going to cut into this. I might actually mount it on the Perspex as a little dial, but we'll see how it goes. I'll put the Perspex in first, and then from there we can suss it out. So yeah, this is where we're at so far. I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely modernized it, and I think once we have the black Perspex here, just to cover that, it's going to give it that modern look. Oh yeah, some other things. So you can see the kick panels down here. They're installed now on both sides. We'll get this off quickly, and we'll get to the Perspex. There we go. Take off the header controls from the back. And that's it, that piece is out. Alright, so now we have our Perspex here, which is a massive sheet. There's a small sheet I could get at Bunnings. Yeah, it's just a, see here, it's just a gloss. I couldn't get any matte ones, so I just thought, you know what, I'll just get a gloss one. It'll look like a screen, so it should look okay. But now we'll just trace out the screen. I would like to make it bigger, because then what we're going to do, we're just going to glue it to there. I think we'll... And And now what we can do is mark out the actual size of it, just to make it a little bit easier to maneuver. And then we'll just cut it a little bit bigger. Just get the rough size of it. So we'll just do it a little bit bigger than what we can see. Okay, so now this will sit in behind, like so. Should come up pretty good. Now we'll just glue it to the back. Okay, we're going to use an epoxy glue, so it's two-part. It's the glue and the hardener, and then we'll just mix it up together, and then we'll run a bead around the frame, and hopefully it sticks. Right. That's probably way too much, but anyway, give it a mix up. Just make sure we mix the glue so the chemical reaction can take place between the hardener and the glue. Yeah, you can usually tell because it will start going like a white colour, and you can smell it too. You don't want to apply it when it's really wet. You actually want to let it harden a little bit, so it's more of a rubbery texture, not quite like rubber, but so it's basically tacky. So I've just had a look, and we're going to apply the glue around here and there, because I don't know if you can see it, that's actually raised. Catch my finger on it, it's raised about a millimetre or two. So if I apply glue here, it's not actually going to touch the perspex. So we'll apply it very carefully. We do not want to make a mess. Just apply it slowly and aim for the top, because if there is overlap, you want the overlap coming over the top where you can't see it, rather than the bottom where you can see it. It'll be visible once we squish it down. So just a little bead, essentially. That's all it should really take. This glue is pretty strong. Well, that's all sides done. Now it's a moment of truth. We'll peel off the cover of the perspex. Oh, look at that. Shiny gloss black. It's going to be fun to clean. Anyway. Alright, we'll just let that dry. Alright, that's set in place now. It's all glued. Alright, so now we can mount it, finish off this conversion, and it should be all done. So that looks much better now. It just fills it in nicely. Bit of glue around the edges, but I think that should be okay. For now, we are going to change it up in the future, but I think for now that's a pretty good result. Back in there. Thanks. Alright, so we are done. So that panel there has made it look heaps cleaner. We've got the new shift boot in, we've got the new handbrake boot in, we've got our side mirror switch which is working now, center console's in, and the whole unit is now in and complete. Alright, well our center console conversion is complete now. I think it looks great. It's really modernised the interior. Happy with how it turned out. Eventually we'll paint it, get it a nice satin black colour or dark charcoal to match the rest of the interior and really make the purple accents pop. So really happy with how it turned out. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys have learnt something. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you need to know how to make the shift boot or make the patterns or whatnot, let me know and I'll post up how to make those. But thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. If you can, like and subscribe to the channel for future updates. We've got plenty more coming as the summer months come. We've got some more Rexxem and friends coming with a few of the guys in the Subaru scene. Some nice cars. And we've also got some more upgrades coming too for both the interior and the exterior. So if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. But for now, thanks for watching and we'll catch you next time. Peace.